We wanted to make sure that we did an event that spoke to post-COVID. I don't think we had an idea about the Delta and what it was going to do to from an extension perspective, but we'll watch that as it emerges. And of course, encouraging everybody to be safe, be sane, take care of yourselves, take care of your family members. But when we really started talking about this, we recognized the importance of data in our ecosystem. And that was really where we got along. Look, HITS and Pepperdine have had a great relationship over the last 11 years, right? We started HITS at Pepperdine. I mean, we literally were on campus the first 3 years of HITS. It was unfortunate we kind of outgrew the auditorium there. But you've been engaged, Nelson has been engaged, this group has been engaged with us in various ways over the years. But I think what really brought us together on this show was the thought about data and how data is the new currency kind of in this emerging world that is only quickened by the pandemic and the impact the pandemic's had on our workflows and our lives. I'm wondering if you want to just chat a little bit about the importance of data in the ecosystem and how when we do get out of this, it's going to be the rocket fuel to get us all the moon.
Absolutely, Guy. Well, first of all, thank you. Let me say this. First of all, thank you for everything you've done and all partners that HITS through this. I'm really proud of our continued relationship. I'd like to give everybody a very good morning, double down on thanking our sponsors. I also really want to thank our students and welcome students, faculty, staff, alumni, our corporate partners, and all the friends of Pepperdine, and give a big shout out to all the members of HITS and MESA for joining us today. I spent 20 years working for entertainment and media companies, and I just love the shared space, the shared learning space between industry and universities like ours. We're thrilled to bring you this program today, which is a result of a lot of outreach from friends and from our connections to bring you what is really a fresh perspective on the entertainment, tech, media, and sports world, which has gotten nothing but more exciting in the last year or so, despite all the challenges that we've had with COVID. Before I just want to, along the lines of what you're saying about data, Guy, I mean, yes, the title is all about data analytics. Why? Because we're businesses that have traditionally in the space been ruled by instinct, relationships, creativity, but strategy, marketing, analytics, and data are really coming to the forefront of this business. And we believe here at PGPS that we believe in developing best for the world leaders and people that can look at both creativity and that data to bring together new business models, new innovations that are going to make the world a better place and serve consumers in a smarter way. I personally believe that business people can be creative and that creatives can be analytical, and that more than ever now students need to develop left and right brain capabilities. And I can't think of a better treat than what we have today to bring you some really fantastic perspectives from people working in the industry and from faculty members as well, thinking together and looking at what is possible today. So that's my perspective, and thank you, Guy, for everything that you've done.
No, thank you, and it's exciting. That's one thing. When you start talking about data journey and connections, you start talking about making better informed decisions based on data, right? I mean, if you think of the vast amount of data that has just exploded even in the last 5 years, right? In terms of collection, gathering, collating, sorting, even in my security vertical, all right, which we never really talked about data. Now we're analyzing logs and, attacks and intrusion defense. And it's even the slightest subtle change that we have to detect, those little anomalies. And if you translate, of course, that's on a risk side, but if you translate out also into like a consumer product or a consumer value proposition, it is those subtleties that are going to kind of steer our ship in the right direction. And of course, the streaming explosion and what we've gone through from a direct to consumer relationship is just incredible. And that is ultimately really fueled by data, not just on on an authentication and making sure it's the right people watching your right show, but also in terms of recommending things and keeping that viewer engaged. And maybe not just in that primary event, but also in all the tertiary products and events that surround it. It's like universes and worlds and fandom. It really speaks to this. So I'm just excited. I'm always excited to talk about data, but especially excited when we bring together the incredible speakers that we have later today. I mean, you're in for a real treat out there. I mean, we have some very senior level speakers, some amazing minds who are in there tweaking those models, have been thinking through the pandemic. All right, what are we going to do when we get out of this, and how are we going to explode, as the whole world emerges from this? So just a very exciting topic.
Yeah.
Great lineup, and again, you were my partner in crime in terms of wrangling the beast. You know, people understand how difficult it is to put these things together, but you and I were really compatriots on this, so I appreciate the hard work you put in on behalf of Pepperdine.
You bet. You bet. You said the FAN word, and I got to jump onto that for a second. I think that we're on the verge of a tremendous transformation in the entertainment industry, going from launches of products to long-standing relationships that are more subscription-based and more sort of forever relationships that are based in an ongoing value addition. And I think data and analytics are really driving the forefront of learning individual preferences, learning what works for people, what doesn't. And technology is just empowering this industry more than it ever has. And so we're just thrilled here to really focus on this. How we really want to differentiate our business school is really being able to give students the ability to learn these things and then be able to go to industry and bring that data appreciation, that analytical perspective with a good, strong understanding of strategy and marketing, so that we can invent new things and make current business models better, but also look at that fan relationship differently as an ongoing, continuous data-empowered relationship.